Okay, so I'd like to begin this vlog by saying that my fucking phone takes automatic selfies whenever it recognizes my face. So I just have a beautiful series of maybe 10 photos of me struggling to prepare myself for this vlog. And I just want to say that pretty much sums up everything I'm about to say. But I'm still gonna say it anyway. Happy fucking Gemini season. Maybe it's finally biting me in the ass that I hate Gemini so much, because I feel like this already is these few days have been fucking chaotic for me. Like I feel more manic than ever, and I typically am not a manic impulsive person, but we'll get to that. A lot of stuff I want to say. My brain's kind of in like 20 different places right now. But I actually felt inspired to make a vlog, so that's really good. And I'm gonna fucking do this in one take. I don't care how many times I mess up or how shitty I look, because you know what? I know I'm hot. No, I'm kidding, but no, I know I'm attractive, and like I'm working on being more confident in myself, and that means, not always having to present myself or my best version of myself when I'm making a vlog, because that's not realistic. And I've been sick. That's another thing. And like, you just fuck it, like I don't know. I don't know where I'm going, but yeah, so where to begin? I don't even remember what I talked about in my last vlog, so I apologize. But we're gonna start this one by talking about how right now I'm supposed to be in Italy. You're probably asking or wondering then, why the fuck are you here in your basement making this fucking vlog? Well, I'll tell you why I'm here. Maybe you can already hear it. I've been sick. I got sick in Italy. My fucking luck. And this was still Taurus season, so I'm not blaming Geminis entirely. And I'm a Taurus rising, so like, if my sign did me dirty, I'm gonna be a little mad, but whatever. I'm just being dramatic, and I think I'm funny, so. Yeah, so May 10th, I arrived in Italy, so that was about, I want to say like 10 days ago. And I was in Milan, and I was visiting my friend Gabby. Hi Gabby, if you're watching this, I know you're subscribed, and you're the bomb. I love you. And Milan was awesome. I had a really good time, went out, did all the things. I went up to Lake Como for the first time, went out to Verona. And then on the 15th to the 17th, the 14th, I went down to Parma to meet up with a couple of my friends, and it was on the evening of the 14th, it was a Tuesday night, that I first felt like I was getting sick, but I didn't really know at the time. I remember that night, because I had taken the train in from Milan to Parma, and earlier in the day, I'd spent the day with my friend, we were walking around, and when we were all settling down, probably 11 p.m., getting ready for bed, suddenly I got, like, to demonstrate, a headache that just felt like an elastic band going. Why? What are you doing? I'm making a vlog. Can you come back later?
Yeah, I just wanted a water bottle, so sorry.
Okay. I'm telling you, something is in the water today. And I already said I was going to do this in one take. Now, if I had any actual effort or talent, I would have edited that and made that like a funny, like, you know how like fucking vloggers will like do edits and jump cuts and make it like more funny before I die. I would do that if I knew how. But anyway, yeah, so headache, elastic, Parma. I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay. Like, I get headaches sometimes, usually around my period. But I was like, what's going on? So I let my friend know, and she gave me this medicine that when I looked it up later, because just a preface, the medicine they have in Italy is fucking weird, and it's just not good compared to the stuff we have in the U.S. So she gave me this like powdery thing called Oki, OKI. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, it seemed to have worked. When I looked it up later, it was used primarily, at least here in the U.S., for arthritis pain. I don't know what y'all Italians are doing. But anyway, took it, went to bed. Next morning, we left for Florence. Still had the headache going on a little bit. But I chalked it up to, being tired. I hadn't gotten a lot of sleep. Like, I didn't sleep on the plane to Milan at all, and I had been going out and running around. So, yeah, whatever. We get to Florence, and I forgot to mention I brought, like, the biggest ass suitcase I could muster because my plan was to go buy a shit ton of clothes and also buy Italian snacks that you can't get here, or at least you can't get easily without paying insane fees, like shipping. And this one specific type of juice called Ace. You would pronounce it, I guess, in English, Ace, ACE. It's orange, carrot, and lemon. And I know that sounds super gross, but I'm telling you, it is the best juice I've ever had, and that's, like, actually processed. But yeah, that was my plan. I was like, all right, I'm going to bring, like, the biggest luggage. I'm going to bring all this shit back. And so, but I also brought a lot of clothes because I'm kind of high maintenance with my fashion. So I'm, like, lugging my suitcase through Florence, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But we check into the Airbnb. It's beautiful. It's literally like a picturesque Tuscan apartment. I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. And that day, we hit the ground running. We go out, we walk around, we explore the city, we're walking, and come nightfall, my throat's starting to hurt. And I'm like, oh, maybe because it's because I'm talking a lot. Because I was talking a lot. I was catching up with friends that I actually met for the first time in real life, which was really exciting. And I've been talking a lot, and I was like, okay, fatigue, exhaustion. Went to bed. Second day in Florence, I was starting to feel it, but again, I still didn't want to believe it. Now the headache was starting to fade, but the sore throat was starting to increase. But it wasn't anything enough to hinder me, I guess. Whatever, went to the Uffizi. Was that the second day? I don't even remember. Maybe that was the second day. But whatever day I went to the Uffizi was when I started to get actually sick, because I remember, we went to the museum. I was tired. I had to keep fucking sitting down. And, like, I'm always tired, but this was, like, beyond a level for me. And we finished. I was super cranky. I was hungry. I wanted to eat, and I was more hangry than usual. Sorry, guys. We eat. I'm just, like, I'm fucking, like, sluggish. And then we were supposed to go to the Bubbly Gardens. I, like, made it to the entrance, and I was like, guys, I can't. I'm sorry. Because at this point, it was, like, 4 p.m. And I was just so worn out. Like, you don't even understand. So, like, I'm going to walk home. So I called my dad, and I walked home, and I kind of lied in bed, and it felt really nice, because that must have been the first time all vacation I was lying down. My friends came back. I got dressed, we went out to dinner, and the next morning we'd be leaving, or they'd be staying in Naples, but I would be departing for Naples. I woke up, like, not able to talk the next morning. Like, I know I sound kind of shitty now still, but it was like that classic laryngitis sound. And I was like, all right. And my throat was killing me. And again, I was taking this oaky stuff. And I was just dreading the day, because I was like, all right, I gotta lug this suitcase, which is my own doing. I gotta lug this suitcase onto the train, find a room for it, And I get off in Naples. I've never been to Naples, and the thing about southern Italy is they have a reputation for just being like Italian, like the real deal, like stereotypical Italian. And I was like, oh my god, I don't think I'm ready for this because I've only ever been to the north before, and I guess central if you count Rome. So I get there, and everyone drives like a fucking maniac. Like, I'm telling you, like, you think Boston and New York drivers are crazy. I swear to God, if you want to commit suicide, just go stand in the middle of the road in Naples. Just go. But anyway, I just managed to, I got something to eat. I got a taxi. And I just, like, laid in bed literally the entire day. Because on my plan, I was like, okay, maybe if I take the day to rest, I'll start to recover. And I think I went to the pharmacy and I told the lady, I was like, oh, my throat hurts, what can I take? And she gave me some, like, lozenges. And I was like, okay. She was like, take one every 3 hours. And I was like, okay. So, did that. Got pizza for dinner. It was amazing. It was like the last day I could taste stuff too, so. Then I went to bed. The second day, Saturday, I woke up. I felt even worse. Or as you would say in Italian, ancora peggio. Mamma mia. I was like, Christ. And I already had all this shit booked for my Naples. I was like planning to do Pompeii and Vesuvius, and then I wanted to do the Amalfi Coast in Capri, excuse my American pronunciation. Well, anyway, Saturday was the day I was going to do the Archaeological Museum. I managed to go because it was like a 10-minute walk from the Airbnb. But again, I was like so fucking tired. I was like, this is cool, but I really don't have the willpower to want to be here right now. That same day, I was supposed to do the underground catacombs. I never did because after the museum, I think I went a little downtown to get lunch and do a little shopping. And then I went back and I napped for like 3 hours. And then I watched Chicago in bed because I felt like shit. And I wanted to watch Chicago. And then I went out to dinner. And I was like, oh my god, I'm not getting any better. So when I got back from dinner, I went to the pharmacy again. I was like, because at this point I started to develop a cough. I was like, hi, I need something for a cough. And the guy was like, sure. Gives me a syrup, of course. I was like, cool, whatever. So I got home, I have the syrup, I have the throat lozenges. I'm like, I'm prepared, or so I thought. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna, load up with this shit. I'm gonna go to bed. And at this point, I was talking with my parents. I was like, I'm afraid I'm not gonna make it. And, like, I'm pretty stubborn. I usually hold out through things, but I just kept feeling shittier and shittier. So I was like, okay, I'll give myself till tomorrow. If by the end of tomorrow I don't feel better, I'm booking my flight back home early. Because, yeah, I was originally supposed to be there until Saturday. So not even, like, I would still be there for another 2 days as of now. So Sunday comes and yeah, no. I think I barely left the house that day. I went fairly local to get lunch. I did walk downtown again, but after that, and that was maybe like 1 or 2 hours, went home, sat in bed, and I felt even worse. I had gone back to the pharmacy to get a cough medicine, which I later found out when I went to the American doctor was really just like zinc and vitamin C. Okay. So I got back to the apartment after dinner, and I was super disappointed because, like, I was really excited to go to this place, Starita Pizzeria, where they film scenes from The Golden Naples, L'Oro di Napoli, where Sophia Loren starred in, and I love her. But I didn't even sit in any of, like, the iconic rooms. I couldn't taste the pizza, and I was sick. And it was just miserable getting there. It was only like a 10-minute walk, but it was just awful. So, I was like, okay. Went back home, went online, and bought my flight home. It was a little more money than I wanted to pay, but, you know, it could have been worse. And because I was in Naples and I was flying out of Naples, it wasn't a direct flight. There was no way they were having a direct flight to Boston. So I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. So I pack all my stuff, I get my suitcase ready without the ache juice because I was just so sick. I was just like, I don't even give a shit. I just want to go home. I did get my clothes though because I went shopping when I was in Milan. And Monday morning, I get a taxi to the airport and get to the airport. I check my luggage. I get on the flight. You know, all seems well. I literally paid extra to sit in the front because I had a very short layover in Dublin, and I was like, I just want this to be as simple as possible. Couldn't sleep on the fucking plane. I was coughing. I felt miserable. I'm sure I was driving the people next to me crazy. I felt terrible. No one wants to be that sick person on the plane. No one wants to be that sick person in public anywhere, especially someone who works public retail. So that was great. And so we land in Dublin, and the lady's like, oh, there's too much air traffic. We can't, what's the word I'm looking for? We can't exit the plane yet. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I literally have a plane to catch. So I'm standing there and I'm like, Christ. And this is also when I was informed that I guess in Ireland is one of those countries where you go through the U.S. customs on the Ireland side. So when you arrive in the U.S., you don't have to do anything. That just means it's a longer process during the layover. So I'm stressing out. I'm sick. I'm talking to this stewardess, and God love her, she was so sweet. I was like, I am gonna miss my flight to Boston. I'm sick. I need to get off of here. And so she was making some calls and helped expedite things, and I barely made the flight. I was fucking running through Dublin airport at 10 minutes to 4. The flight left at 4:20 and customs closed at 4. And so I'm almost throwing up because I have this cough and it's asthma induced, and I'm running and I'm sick, and I'm just thank God I didn't have my luggage with me. I thank God it was checked at that point. So I get to the plane, I make it on, and this is the long flight. So it was 3.5 hours from Naples to Dublin, which already felt interminable. And then it was another 7, and I was like, I'm never gonna get home. I'm never gonna get home. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't really do anything. I think I listened to some music, but I was just so fucking miserable that I was like, I couldn't do anything. When we landed again, they kept us in the plane for the same fucking reason or something. And I was just I'm so tired. I want to go home. My dad was already there waiting for me. I just wanted to go. Finally let us out. I fucking book it. I fucking pushed my way past the actual first class people because I was listen, I'm sick. I need to go home. I've been traveling for way too long. And I run out and get to baggage claim, and I just sit there because of course it's not ready yet. And I'm sitting there on the ground like a crumpled heap of paper. And the lady I was sitting next to on the plane comes over and she goes, you know, you left your passport on the plane. And I'm like, what? So I'm checking my bag, and sure as hell I did. I'm like, do you have it? She was like, no, I gave it to the stewardess. I was like, okay, so where the fuck do I go now? She was like, I don't know, you could try going back up to the check-in desk. So I go back up to the check-in desk, and I'm like, okay, I was just on this flight from Dublin to Boston, and I guess I left my passport, and a passenger turned it in. And they're like, oh, like, we'll look for you. We don't see it yet. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like pacing back and forth. The stewardess comes out and she's like, oh, there you are. Like, oh my God, I didn't think I would find you. So I got my passport. I was like, all right, thank God. Had to wait like another 10 minutes for my luggage. Got my luggage. Finally got into the car. Went home. Slept for 14 hours, which I never do. Oh my God, this vlog is already 20 minutes. So that was that. And I spent these past few days mostly recuperating here at home, going crazy with antibiotics and cold and sinus medicine and my fucking inhaler because of this cough. I'm finally feeling, I would say, like 75% better. Just like now, I literally am filled with this disgusting, like yellow-green colored snot, and I had to constantly blow my nose. But I think I'm like prone to like chronic sinus infections, so that's something else I have to get checked out in the future. But now I'm here, getting back to crazy things. Gemini season. The first day I was back, I didn't really have any emotional trouble. I was so fucking tired. I was like, all right, sleep. Second day back, I went out with one of my friends, and that was fine. And the third day back, I started to go crazy. And then today, I don't even know if today's the third day or the fourth day, but it doesn't matter. What is time? Time is made up anyway. I was going like manic. I was getting depressed. I was getting to that point where I was feeling really, really bad, in a bad place. And it could be because my period's coming too, but I like had to get out of the house because I was going crazy. So I got out of the house and I got a tattoo. And it's a beautiful Scorpio constellation tattoo. It's the symbol and the constellation. Yeah, we can do it. It's kind of hard to get a proper angle. There you go. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. And I feel like normally I wouldn't have done something like that so impulsive. I don't regret it. I love it. I've been wanting to get a zodiac tattoo for a while, actually. But it just felt out of character for me, I guess, because I feel like I'm always overthinking everything and always weighing out one thing and the other and the pros and the cons before making a decision. But I was just kind of like, fuck it. So I feel like this is going to be the mood for Gemini season. Don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, going back to all that. So I guess we'll see. Hopefully I'll make vlogs more regularly. And luckily for me, I don't really have anything major planned in my life until July, and that's when I'm going to LA to see my friend Katie. Yay! But in the meanwhile, May and June is gonna be more the same. We're working. The cool thing is though, the tattoo artist I met today is awesome, and he actually does specialize in neorealism, like portraits, and that's exactly the style I wanted to do my Marlena tattoo in. So we were talking about that. And so I'm going to set up an appointment at some point soon, and I'm really excited about that. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of everywhere. And my skin is so bad right now. I know it doesn't look like it because we love good lighting. And also I just did my skincare routine to like trick myself into thinking that I'm doing, like got my shit together. But I swear to God, my pores are huge and I got pimples everywhere. And like, it looks like I have a pockmark like here up close. But I'm also super critical. So that's that. But oh, and yeah, and I have a dentist appointment tomorrow at like 8 in the morning. And if you guys know anything about me, you know I'm terrified of the dentist. So I'm ready to shit myself. It's gonna be so much fun. I literally have to take like 2 bars of Xanax every time I go to the dentist. I'm not exaggerating. I wish I were. I wish I were kidding. I just get so manic. I've never had a cavity. For whatever reason, I don't like teeth. I don't like people touching it, scraping them, putting pressure. And of course, the last thing I ever want is a drill. And the great irony is that I had 6 wisdom teeth. Like, that would happen to me. But, yeah. So tomorrow, I'm going to the dentist. And I can never go alone again, one, because of the fear, and two, because of the Xanax, because I can't function after. But I'm going with my younger sister, and she's going to drive me and probably make fun of me the whole time, which is awesome. But anyway, she's like the opposite of me. She doesn't mind the dentist at all, but I'm just glad I have someone to go with, which means I'll probably spend the rest of the day in bed from my Xanax coma. So please pray for me. I guess I'll keep you updated. I'm honestly so anxious. Like, there are a few things in life that make me as anxious as the dentist. And I'm trying to adopt this whole mode or method of, like, not giving a fuck. And I feel like I've been doing a slightly better job, like, than I usually have with it. But with things like the dentist, just forget it. Like, I can't. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to surmount that fear. But, you know, trying to be positive about it. Maybe I'll go in with that same spontaneity that I had today when I went to the tattoo parlor. You know, just do it, get it over with, get done. And yeah, weather's finally starting to get nice here. Yay. You know, it's about time. It's almost June. Even though you wouldn't know because I'm in a robe and pants. I'm always cold. But I guess that pretty much concludes this vlog. I think I got out everything that I wanted to say, but I can guarantee you in like 5 minutes, I'm going to be cursing to myself because I'm going to remember something I want to tell you that I didn't. But, you know, I'm only one woman. I can only do so much. I'm pretty proud of this vlog because I feel like at times for other vlogs, I feel like I have to really search for stuff to say. It almost seems forced, and that's always the last thing I want to do. You know, I never want to like produce something that feels like manufactured or forced. But I'm about to pop myself a Xanax and go to bed because I'm anxious already. And for anyone who watched almost all 30 minutes of this, thank you. I love you. If you skipped to the end, I totally understand. If you didn't watch it at all, I understand as well. I think the last vlog I made was in Italian, actually. Just remembered. But yeah. Good night to you. Happy Gemini season again. I hope everything goes well in your favor, and I will keep you posted on my life, which I often pretend is way more interesting than it really is, because it's really not. I don't really do anything. Bye, guys.